are your intentions on Hinge?
I'm really happy with my life the way it is right now, but if someone were to walk in, blah, blah, blah. You know, men lie, but like, men like really be lying.
See what you're doing, and then I go on Instagram and it says you posted 2 minutes ago, you're done.
In Thailand, you can walk to a walking street and get what men want.
Don't really have this sense of entitlement and the need for men to prove their value to us. For us, everybody have values.
Hey guys, welcome back to More to Life. Before I get into this video, I ask that you like, comment, subscribe. Also, smash that notification bell just to be sure you get my videos as soon as I release them. Let's hop right into it.
Asked him, what are your intentions on Hinge? Like, what are you doing on Hinge?
Okay, you know the deal. Go back and watch her video. It takes a little bit longer to get into it, but basically she's talking about this guy she met on Hinge in London and how to avoid situationship. The most important part of her video and what kind of prompted me to make this stitch was the part where basically she asked the guy, like, what are your intentions for Hinge? Like, why are you on here? And the guy answers and says, I'm really happy with my life the way it is right now, but if someone were to walk in, blah, 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 like, he'd be open to it, blah, blah, blah. And then they still keep in touch, and he asks her for advice. He's like, you're a dating coach, like, you know, tell me, like, give me your opinion, give me your thoughts. Which is a very slippery slope for women, and I just implore you to take a lot of caution when guys ask you for feedback or advice, because a lot of the times the fangs come out, but I digress. And she's like, bro, you don't know what you want, and yeah. Then he writes back and he's like, I told you that I wasn't looking for anything serious. I'm like, I don't know, happy being single, 100% happy being single, but if someone were to come into my life, da-da-da-da-da. And she's like, that's not what you said. And that's not what he said. He used very specific words. He said, I'm 100% happy with my life right now, but if someone were to walk in, then he'd be open to a relationship. And the reason why I felt so compelled to stitch this is because men do that on purpose. They literally like give these messages that are like watered down and vague and sound nice on the surface, but really like it's BS. What's really important to know is that if you are a girl on dating apps, like you have to use discernment. I cannot stress that enough. Like, you need to be very careful with the questions that you're asking, but also like what you're hearing and taking time to like really internalize it and like fill the holes in the story that a lot of guys will inevitably give you. If you meet a guy on a dating app and you ask him what he's looking for and the first phrase out of his mouth is, I'm 100% happy with my life right now, that should already tell you how he's going to prioritize a relationship and how he views like something going forward. Because whether you like it or not, a relationship is a commitment, it is a priority, and it would change your life the way it is right now. And someone who wants that would be open to that, would be happy to that, and that's what they would be looking for. That would be the first thing out of their mouth. I also just want to emphasize that we know men lie, but like men like really be lying.
Oh, here we go again.
And like they're lying through their teeth. They sometimes enjoy the lie, like they enjoy the game. And it's very different than the type of dating games that us women talk about. It's very different. And it's really important that you know that, especially if you're someone who wears your heart on your sleeve and you're really looking for something serious. Also, a lot of men know that if they were 100% upfront with what they are looking for, like, yeah, I'm actually just here to...
That's the thing. You heard what she said at the end? She answered her question. If men were 100% upfront with what they're looking for, men can't be 100% upfront with what they're looking for, right? So it can be done, but a guy has to have already gotten somewhere, right? You know what's happening? Guys don't know how to play it. And as she said, it shouldn't be any dancing around, you know, looking for this, trying to have discernment and this and that. Be sweet, be feminine. If it doesn't work for you, for the guy, keep moving on, right? You don't need to play this game of song and dance. And if guys playing around, seems like the guy's playing around, that's on him, his loss. But at this here, women doing this and check their temperature, it's too much. Too much guessing game. Guys don't want to play it. Let me hop on to the next video.
Start taking long to reply, you're done. You don't answer my phone call, you're done. I text you what you're doing, and then I go on Instagram and it says you posted 2 minutes ago, you're done. And then girls be like, yo, I was busy. No, I don't want to hear that shit. update me. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem with y'all girls. Y'all don't like updating that person that y'all talking to. If you're not gonna update me, just don't even bother on texting me.
It's petty. It's a young brother, right? To a woman, it would be like, oh, you're being so petty. But you know what? Especially if as a young man, if you're still trying to date in the U.S., you have to be like that, right? That's what happened with me. I was done. I'm going through the song and dance, went through it, accepted a lot of nonsense. But nowadays, you have to be like this young brother here. You're a young man. Of course, you may not be ready to travel yet and go out there and explore and meet different women abroad to find true feminine women. You can find it in the U.S., it's just harder. But yeah, you're a guy like that, you gotta be like this kid. Let me hop on to the next video.
I was with my friend last night and she said, 6 guys want to see me tonight. I'm just going to put their names in the hat and shake it. And she picked a name and she goes, I'm repicking. Sorry, Dylan.
This right here, this is why men have checked out, right? This is how women can select. Even look at a dating app. Women can pick through and play games. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
All right, let's make it eeny, meeny, miny, you.
Eeny, meeny, miny.
Catch a piggy by the toe.
Eeny, meeny, miny, you. Wait.
Women look at these dating apps and say, I don't like his shirt, delete it. I don't like him for this, delete it. So 6 dates lined up. She already knew what she wanted, but she knows she doesn't want. Why not just take that guy out? And then they put this on social media and wonder why things are the way they are. Why men are checking out. Common sense.
I need women to understand deeply that it really is all men.
Oh, here we go again.
And any man that's worth your time is going to admit that. It's the same exact thing for racism and for white people. It's all white people. And the most dangerous ones are the ones who think that there are exceptions. And the most dangerous men are the ones who think that there are exceptions. Because we have all been taught the same growing up. It's not only all men, it's all women too. We are all victims of fucked up thinking under the patriarchy.
The Bible says that the wife should submit to the husband, but also that the husband should serve the wife. And people often miss that part out. It comes in tandem. That we are a unit that are supposed to support each other. So yes, I think feminism is actually the downfall of Western society, and because it's encouraged women to become men in order to be equal, and we're not about equal. Again, we're not a tolerant faith, we're also not an equal faith.
Because this kind of thinking has been perpetrated onto all of us. And if you as a woman can't admit that you have also participated in misogyny and internalized misogyny, then you are also dangerous to other women. And this is in fact the only way that we can deconstruct and get rid of these systems is by admitting that they exist, by admitting that racism, ableism, all of these things, they don't just come out of nowhere, or they don't only come out of like bad people. They are taught to all people.
Now, of course, all of those systems exist, but the patriarchy, I'm getting tired of that, man. You know, I got tired of hearing patriarchy. I actually watched the Barbie movie with my wife, and I said, they kept saying it, and then all over social media, that's all they say. And then especially after the Barbie movie, that's all women talk about. It's like that movie drummed up hatred towards men, and they made it seem like it's this bigger man out there. It is. And you know what? He went to one of the first women that created feminism and had you guys push this agenda. You're still pushing it right now. You're pushing the patriarchy, right? By saying we need to be independent, we need to have a job. Yeah, it's fine. You created more debt slaves. Congratulations. You did the patriarchy justice. Let me let her finish though.
Therefore, there is no such thing as somebody who has not been taught rules of the patriarchy. If you're here, if you exist, you have been taught the rules of the patriarchy. If you're here and you exist, you have been taught the rules of racism. You have been taught the rules of ableism. And the only way that you could have chosen not to follow them is by taking a look at them and realizing that there is no truth or foundation to these claims that have been perpetrated. Continue perpetrating racist, sexist, and ableist ideologies is to examine them, is to admit that they exist in the first place, is to admit that they exist inside you. If you as a man think that you have been somehow spared from the patriarchy teaching you how to treat all women, it's because you haven't examined your thoughts, your motivations, your actions, because you haven't asked any of the women in your life whether you perpetrate these ideas. Chances are as a white person, it's because you haven't asked, or you don't have people in your life that you can ask about whether you perpetrate these ideas. You are living in blissful ignorance thinking thinking that you are the exception and not the rule. We are all the rule, and there are no exceptions. The exceptions are not the people who don't have these thoughts or don't have these harmful ideas. The exceptions are the people who take a look at those ideas and examine them in and of themselves, and then decide what they're going to do about it. One of the things that makes me feel the safest with my husband is that he doesn't think he's an exception. He knows that he has thought about a lot more things than other men, and he knows he has deconstructed a lot more ideas than other men, but he understands that he had those ideas to begin with and that they needed to be deconstructed because we are all taught them at the same base rate, and then some are taught it even more. But by base rate, I really mean like it's kind of everywhere, and unless you're actively deconstructing, unless you're actively catching these thoughts, then nothing is going to help. I mean, I have friends who, you know, their little boy would play with like kitchens and dolls and literally had a baby doll that he would carry around. As soon as he went to public school, all that went out the window, and he likes only boy things now, and he is more about, you know, impressing other boys. You can do your best at home as a parent or whatever to raise your child like outside of patriarchal standards, but unless you're teaching...
Did you hear what she said? I guess, yeah. If that's what she considers patriarchal, yeah, I guess I'm a part of patriarchy too, right? I come from a time where men were men. Nowadays it's so much different. I'm not gonna get into that, but most of you guys know what I'm saying. Right now, the toxicity level is at an all-time high. I'm surprised everyone's not walking around with cancer, but I digress. Next video.
We're saying that Western men pick Thai girls because we're easier.
I'm going to try to explain. So in the West, when the guy...
Hold up.
Wait a minute.
So this Thai woman responded to the girl that's 38 that's in Thailand saying men probably want her, right? And now they're going back and forth. I don't got my popcorn. It's going to be good. This going to be good. Let's go.
Woman, he needs to buy her flowers, take her to a fancy restaurant, get a gift, pick her up by car. In Thailand, you can walk to a walking street and get what men want for free.
Okay, so for simplicity, we're just going to assume that what men want for you means sex, yeah? If that's the only thing they're looking for, cheap dates or even free dates are available everywhere, including the West. You can be bumping into someone in a pub and just take them home. No shame in that. If it's what both parties are looking for, no shame. But we're not really talking about that, are we? Damn! We're talking about people who are looking to build a long-lasting, committed, serious relationship. And I got some news for you. Well, men have to do that too for Thai women. We got that and more. But you know what's the difference between Thai women and a person like you? Those things that men did for us were never expected, but appreciated.
He's cooking up garbage.
We don't really have this sense of entitlement and the need for men to prove their value to us.
Emotional damage.
For us, everybody have values, including men. If we like you and respect you as a person, we will let you know. We feel that there's no need for us to play games. We will reciprocate the feelings and make sure that you feel loved and adored. And if you, Natalia, call this sincere reciprocity of feelings easy, then you really have a deep problem. How about less judgment and more power and more love to fellow female? It's nice. You should really try doing that.
This is exactly why men have gotten our passports and left. You see this? Do you see this lady? How she broke it down in a simple way to where she can understand? But you have modern women that act like they're so much more complex than women that guys are going to see. When you ever heard of too smart for your own good? Right? Sometimes when you're too smart for your own good, you can't understand the most simplest things, right? And she broke it down. She sit there and took it and deconstructed it and then reconstructed it for her. That's what she did. This is what it's hitting for, and guys see this, and I'm happy guys are seeing this. Guys are seeing this in 1080p, 4K, from me, from different channels, and it's helping guys open their eyes and realize there's definitely more to life than going through the nonsense back home, because guys can leave and find a woman like this.
So he's coming.